Hello, this is Warlord 12, and today I need to discuss this about Tekken 8 and with, Bandai and Harada concerning the new costume designs for Tekken 8. So, what's been going on that I've been seeing is that, you know, there's been some talk now, like Harada addressing, when it comes to the controversy on the costumes and stuff like that. I just need to say this, what I'm saying, when it comes to the Tekken shop, right? Is that, see right here, and I'm going to get straight to the point. That's how I do things, that's how I like to do it. So, this is obviously not from Tekken 8. This is from Fortnite. See, what I'm saying is here, if Bandai, if you want to charge people the money that you're charging for, like, the season pass and this DLC stuff, I said, first of all, if you're gonna copy off of Fortnite and the season pass stuff or like Overwatch 2, I said, if for these, I'm talking about specifically like unique costume designs, I said it needs to be on the level of what Fortnite has. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to art and design, right? If you're having people to pay all this money like you are, um, with your tactics, with you know having money left over, and it's still not enough, and you got to keep on going into your bank account and stuff just to get certain costumes or outfits or whatever it is or whatever accessories you want to get. What I'm saying is, if it's gonna be like that, or if you do make changes when it comes to the pricing, you need to have designs like this, right? Oh, and don't, you know what I'm saying, and don't worry, I've got a whole lot more designs to showcase here from Fortnite and from other video games, because, like, you know what I'm saying, you're charging all this money, you should at least have, top tier, high level designs like this, right? If you're going to be charging all that. So when it comes to Fortnite, I've been seeing around how people really like this design. So, Bandai, this is just another example. Because, and we know that you're pretty good at doing designs, but I'm just saying, you want people to shell out, a certain amount of money, but you don't have, you know, the designs for people to even want to spend money like that. You know what I'm saying? Not that we want Tekken 8 to go in that direction when it comes to, overpriced stuff, right? Especially microtransactions, because that stuff doesn't last forever. Like, as soon as you buy the game, and then since all the content isn't actually on the disc, if something happens to the PlayStation Store or the Microsoft Store, what happens? You lose all that stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Or something, or I should say, like, if your data gets corrupted, how are you gonna get on? How are you gonna get back on that when, if something does happen to those stores? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can pretty much do about that. But yes, this is another example though of, when we talk about designs. No, this is pretty solid. This is pretty sick right here. And then, like, you could look at, like, how, like, certain things on some of these characters look on the looks, like certain things that could be accessories, right? Like, this is what we're talking about. Certain things that these characters are wearing that look like accessories. So these are like things that, Bandai could do. Of course, I'm not talking about copying off of Fortnite or copying off of other video games. I'm just using, like, these designs as, like, more examples. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about, like, good content or premium content, stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I go to McDonald's, right? And they try to charge me like $15 or $20 for a burger, right? But their burger isn't even that good. Like, for instance, the McDonald's in Hawaii, that's a 10 out of 10. Because it's not only are their burgers healthy, their food is healthy, but it's actually good. McDonald's, they're just now trying to put a bit more seasoning and stuff, like, some like salt and stuff in their burgers. And it's like they're just now doing that, and their burgers still aren't that great. And I'm talking about, McDonald's and stuff in other restaurants in America. But this is just another example of what I'm talking about here, especially when we talk about, paying for DLC, paying for microtransactions and stuff, right? And so this is from the video game called Dislight. So, like, what I'm saying, just a few more examples, right? What I'm saying, other than, like, the minus the beast head, like, the character with the beast like head on the far right. Other than that, so before I also get into more of this stuff when it comes to in depth and detail, is that for what I also want to get, the point I want to get across as well is that, see, you're trying to have a time limit on the battle pass or season pass, if you want to call it. See, the problem with that is, since there's a time limit, people don't really. There are people out there that aren't going to have the time to do the battle pass stuff because they have a job, or maybe they have a busy life, or whatever it is. They're probably not going to have time to get through all that, and they're probably not going to want to. And it's not out of laziness; it's out of, you keep having to deal with pluggers and Bandai. I'm going to say this because you haven't really been truly doing anything about the pluggers. You haven't been getting at the root and heart of the problem when it comes to the plugging, right? You're not like, you're banning people, but it's like they can just get another account and then get back on and then plug again, right? Now, I'm not sure about how the system is right now as far as, getting your points even if someone plugs. I don't know anything about that right now, right? I don't know if that's been updated, if that's a thing now. But even in case if it isn't, or whether it is or isn't, I'm talking about it right now because obviously that's been a major issue. You know what I'm saying? Not punishing these people like you should be. But you'll go like, and I have to say this because just like how you got so aggressive with the modders and stuff and deleting people's accounts, but you mean to tell me you won't do that on the pluggers? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Does that sound fair to you? Is that cool to you? That's because it really isn't cool, man. So, like I said, just a few more examples. Okay, so this is Junker Queen from Overwatch 2 for her mythic skin, right? So, like, look at all the detail and stuff that they put into this, like, to this outfit, and the customizations that you can do with it, variations you can do with it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is what I'm talking about when we talk about quality. Like, this skin was worth getting when it came to, being a pro player and stuff like that. Especially if you're good at the game, like, you want to, like, showcase this outfit when you're playing against other people online and stuff. But, this is what we're talking about. But I do want to touch more upon, this whole thing, like, like, deleting people's accounts and stuff like that. See, what I wanted to, the main point I also wanted to get across was all the main problems that go into why people aren't finding Tekken 8 fun, or they don't find it worth it to even pay for your DLC or your cosmetics. Like I said, so I believe it somewhat has been more fixed when it comes to the slow combat, and then, I mean, being slow, not being able to Korean dash like you should be able to. And it looks like there's been a bit more changes to, blocking, stuff like that. But, you not being able, like, you blocking and you still taking, like, damage was something that took a blow to why people didn't want to pay for the DLC stuff, all the stuff that was going on. And then, like I said, and then with the stuff that's going on with the mods that saying deleting people's accounts, and the mods is what actually hyped people up to also, like it kind of, like, how the best way to put it is, like, it was also an incentive to get Tekken 8 because the mods, that's what was also drawing people in. And once you took that away, it's kind of like, the game just got boring because it was just like bare bones, basically. Basically, it's kind of like exposing what the game is without the mods and stuff like that and other things going on, right? But like I said, I'm just talking about as a whole for why people aren't really getting invested in with the DLC and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, with the season pass, like people are barely gonna even bother with it because and it's just like like to me, it's like you copied off of Fortnite. I mean, yeah, Fortnite and Overwatch 2. And the problem with Overwatch 2 was, people didn't want to really, people aren't really having an incentive to pay for the season pass or the battle pass. Why? Because, there's a time limit on it. So you're just like, oh, so if I don't, make it in time for me to claim all the stuff, right? If I don't finish it, I don't, get what I was trying to get in the first place, or all the stuff that I worked for, it's all gone. See, that's the problem. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then they want to try to overcharge. Like, oh, if you don't want to do that, you just pay like $80 or $100. Like, it's like who's really gonna do that? And then if people were doing it, it's mainly because uh, there were people that were like getting VIP passes to get exclusive content and stuff like that. And then those people were just hyping up Overwatch 2 because, they got free stuff. That's literally it. And then they're just sitting there over there. Basically, what I would say is like they're like white knighting the video game. They were like really hard stuck on, trying to defend the game. But really, what I'm saying, they're just getting free stuff. So that's why they're trying to defend it so hard and so badly. You know what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that. So back to Fortnite, but just like basically what I was talking about. So when we talk about costumes and designs, right? See, stuff like this would be worth getting. You know what I'm saying? Something like this truly catches the eye, especially the details. And I said, this is what Tekken 8 needs to get with when it comes to designs to get people to actually pay for if people want to pay DLC or pay for microtransactions. It's like you got to get on your quality. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you, man. But you really got to get on that stuff. If that's what you're really trying to get people paying for microtransactions, you need to put in the design and work into this stuff. For real. So like I said, so other problems that tie into this game is like the repeat DLC characters, right? I won't say that there's anything wrong with returning DLC characters. It's just that the way you're doing it isn't really hyping it up. It's kind of making people feel like, wow, what a waste of money. You know what I'm saying? Especially since they got, the season pass in the first place because like, oh, if I pay $100, I get a bunch of DLC characters and stuff. But see, the problem is now Lydia was obviously confirmed, right? It's like what's so hype about characters that we already had from Tekken 7 and now it's coming back in the first season. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really seem all that hype. And then especially it just feels like you're wasting money. So I like Lydia, but I'm just telling you like it is. I'm just telling the truth, right? So with Lydia coming back. Now, if FK comes back, we already know who that is. I just put that, the abbreviations or another way to say that name, that, the character that uses, Muay Thai, right? So I'm pretty sure people know what character I'm talking about. The character that has like disproportions and stuff like that with his body. Okay. So, and then another character, it's not confirmed, like just like I said about FK, not confirmed officially, right? And then we have the character Marduk. So see what I'm talking about is like, okay, characters like Marduk, I don't know what much to say about Marduk. There's some people that wanted him, but when we talk about characters like FK and Lydia, you should have just put those characters in the base game to begin with. Or actually, you could have just made put two characters like characters that you could unlock in the game. You could have just made those like unlockable characters or something, right? Or maybe timed release characters that are actually physically on the disc or something. Like after like the date passes or something like that, it unlocks the characters or something. But like either way, characters like that, they should have just been on there. And I say that's why people were getting upset because they're just like, so we're getting these same characters when we could have got characters like Bruce Irvin. You know, I have to bring it up because it's obvious that a lot of people are gonna say stuff like that, or mention other characters. I don't want to. There's a character I don't want to mention because people will just go crazy over it and it'd be like they just some people just do too much. This is the only reason why I'm not bringing up a certain character, right? But so I wanted to say this, talk about this on the subject and matter about when it comes to games right now that are like real hot right now or whatever, or what's in right now, like for instance Tekken 8 being considered that, but saying, so what Joshua Michael was saying, I want to say that of course they're entitled to their opinion. That's their opinion. But there are certain things that I need to talk about. Like, for instance, for games of this generation, for 2024, what's a real video game and things like that. See, I will say that Stellar Blade. I don't agree with Stellar Blade, but I will admit that that what games like Stellar Blade is doing, the people that make games like this, they actually have ambition. They have the guts to do what they do. But, Tekken 8, it could be that that true top number one game of this year, but it's got to fix certain things. It's got to, do certain things, but whatever the company does, whatever Bandai does, that's what they decide to do. Whatever they do and they still don't make money, that's on them. That's all I got to say about that, really. What I'm saying is, I'm not even really trying to really get on your head, Bandai. I'm just telling the truth and putting certain things out there, right? So even now Starfield, the only reason why I truly don't agree with Starfield, and that's because Starfield. So what I want to say is Starfield is a great example of what the problem with gaming is today. So a good example, Starfield and Helldivers 2. So Starfield is trying to introduce all that pronoun stuff, right? And I need to say this to game developers and you corpos and corpo companies. If you're going to put all this pronoun stuff and try to push your agenda or whatever it is, at least have the guts to tell people from the beginning what your game is truly all about. Enough with the hiding, right? We talked about examples, why this is so serious, why this matters, right? Because I don't care if you want to get upset or whatever it is about, because you don't like me telling the truth about these video games and the politics. Politics or not, there's certain things that these people are pushing, and it's getting annoying, right? Or certain things that have to be talked about. Otherwise, these corporate companies, they're gonna keep pushing people around. They're gonna see how far they can push certain things, and they're gonna mainly just do it anyway because they have, other people higher up and all these people that are, doing all these sneaky things in these corporations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? Especially since they have people that will continuously, bandwagon and protect these people, man. So, but what I'm saying is, for when we talk about good examples, is just like Helldivers 2. See, video games like that and what's been going on with head managers, and I'm talking directly to the head manager for Helldivers 2, because you're a good example of what the problem with gaming is, especially with Starfield. So what I'm saying is, what's been going on in gaming is a bunch of Trojan horse tactics. So what some of these game companies do, they make it look like, for example, they'll make it look like they're all about trying to make a real video game, and and to get your money or whatever it is, or try to get you on board with their video game, and then they'll switch up and do this butt dancing stuff. I want to say shout out to the All the Way G for that word, buck dancing, because that's what these game companies are doing. They, you know what I'm saying, they want to try and pull the wool over your eye. They want to use these masks and stuff like that. But for the main thing of why I'm bringing this up, because this is disgusting and annoying. And gaming shouldn't even be like this in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's and I will say it's shameful, right? Because that's one of the top number one things we're tired of. Be truthful about your game. Be honest about your game. Why do you have to hide? You know what I'm saying? With all this transgender stuff and this homosexual stuff, if homosexuality and all this transgender stuff is so genuine, why do you have to keep hiding it? Why do you have to keep using all these coward tactics? Why do you have to keep on using these Trojan horses in video games? Especially when it comes to movies and stuff like that, or whatever, type of entertainment it is. If it's so legit, you don't have to do all that. And I said, and it's like, you got a bunch of people protecting you anyway, so what are you afraid of? No, seriously, real talk. You know what I'm saying? But that's the top main reason, the problems with this. And then there are times where it's not that there are companies that aren't trying to be a Trojan horse, but there's specific companies out there, right, that they try to get other gaming companies to bend the knee and bow down to them and, basically be a bully, which is something I'm against. I am truly against bullying. I'm someone who used to get bullied. So stuff like that, I don't play with that stuff. I don't put up with that stuff, man. I don't care even if it's from a corporation. We don't stand for that stuff, bro. But yes, you'll have these companies who don't have a spine or a backbone and do all these weasel tactics and stuff and get people to bow down to their agenda. So to you corporate companies that are doing this stuff, I'm going to let you know something about us gamers and people in general. You don't tell us what to do. We don't bow down to you. We don't bow down to your coward agenda. I'm going to tell you that right now, man. Peace.
Get ready, we got this game on lockdown, showing up hard knocks, ready if you ready, man.